Jason Kenney canning two of his MLAs, that just proved it right there. He doesn't want to hear anything from anybody because he's trying to control everything within our province. And if you step out of line of what Jason Kenney says, he just tries to delete you out of the system. And if you really look back at everything, I think that's believed to be called a dictator.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Western Standard. Nadine Wellwood, correspondent, and I am here today speaking with Ty Northcott. And Ty, as you know, was the coordinator and event organizer for the No More Lockdowns rodeo that happened just outside of Bowden on Bullshit Boulevard.
Yep.
Thought we'd throw that in just for a little bit of fun there. Ty, you were in court this morning and had to issue a plea as you received a summons to appear just last week.
Yeah, we got a summons a week ago today, and it was for a court date for today. So with everything that's going on and their social distancing and whatever, it ended up, it was a Zoom meeting with the judge and the Crown and my lawyer. So I never actually physically got to attend it, but it was kind of over and done in about 20 minutes. My lawyer put in a plea for us of not guilty and then requested a bunch of information.
And so you have another court date set?
Yeah, our next day will be June 21st, so it's a few weeks down the road. It really can't come soon enough. We'd like to get this rolling as quick as we can.
And so when you started all this, Ty, did you expect that you were going to end up in court?
Oh, absolutely. That was our intentions, was to take this to court and bust open the BS that our government and our AHS is causing our province at the moment.
And so you were expected the result that you've gotten, and you've pleaded not guilty to your to the charges. So where do you go from here?
We carry on the fight. My big thing right now is we want to get the other side into the courtroom and get the battle going and see where it goes, see who's right and who's wrong.
The government, you're really trying to push their hand to ensure that they, produce the evidence for the measures that they've taken.
Oh, absolutely. They need to show some proof why we're locked down like we are right now. There's nobody has been getting any success in the court right now because they prolong it or they just chuck the charges out. And we want to fight this right to the end. We want to see what Deanie Hinshaw has in her bag of tricks as to why we seem to have to be locked down. I mean, it's crazy right now. You turn on the TV and watch the Cowboy Channel, and there's rodeos happening in Montana, which is less than 10 hours from here, and full crowds, no masks, no social distancing. It's over. There's 37 states open today, maybe more as of today, but on Friday it was 37 states, and they're rolling. Life's regular. It's none of the stuff that we're going through here right now.
And so what is the risk to the Canadian rodeo circuit if we don't get things back on track?
Well, it's been devastating for the last year and a half. I mean, we've been shut down since March of last year, like a lot of businesses have been, and we can't sustain another 2, 3, 4 months. What's going to happen is, as long as the government keeps controlling everything, like they are with their grants and their casino money and basically their buy-off money, I call it. If they can keep us shut down till fall, then they can control probably 90%, 95% of the indoor arenas. We won't have no rodeo next fall unless we follow their bogus rules that you know, they're totally unjust.
And so what do you think of Jason Kenney's comments around the allowing the Cowboys in for Stampede and some of the proposals that he's put forth to allow Stampede to proceed?
I would like to see it happen. Don't get me wrong. I want to see all rodeo go. I don't care how they go or what goes, but there's no reason for Stampede to be shut down at all. It's a very viable operation, and I don't believe that there's no reason the Calgary Stampede can't happen as it normally has, like say in 2019. We have a total safe society to live in right now. The only thing unsafe about our society right now is our political system.
And so, having said that, what do you hope is going to be the outcome for you know, you've taken quite a big step here. You've risked, you knew that potentially you could see jail time or a pretty hefty fine, and you did it anyway. Was it worth it?
Well, it's a sacrifice, and somebody has to make the sacrifice, and I was willing to step up and do it. I really wish there would be more people step up behind me or beside me and start putting rodeos on. There is absolutely no reason that we shouldn't be putting rodeos on. The only thing standing in our way right now is politics and bad politics, not even good politics. Last week, Jason Kenney canning 2 of his MLAs, that just proved it right there. He doesn't want to hear anything from anybody because he's trying to control everything within our province. And if you step out of line of what Jason Kenney says, he just tries to delete you out of the system. And if you really look back at everything, I think that's believed to be called a dictator. And that's exactly what Jason Kenney is a dictator.
And so now AHS is, you know, came out with even more strict restrictions as a result of what some people would say almost a little bit vengeful of a response to the Bowden, just your rodeo. And what do you say to the folks that go, you know what, just follow along, comply with the rules, and this will all go away?
Look at where it's got us in 14 months, just going along. It's got us nowhere.
And you don't see an end?
Not carrying on the way that we are carrying on. You know, we may have what some people want to call rodeo. It'll be without people in the stands, and a lot of these rodeos are going to drain their budgets because there's no income from sponsors, spectators, or vendors or anything like that. I mean, some of these rodeos can carry on for this year, but what are they going to do for 2022 if it doesn't have some kind of change to it? Take away the government grants, the government money that a lot of these rodeos are being funded with right now that claim they're going to go this year, and their pocket of money that they had left over from years to past, they're going to burn through it this year. What's going to be there in 2022? Nothing.
So if you had a statement that you wanted to deliver to the people of Alberta, what would it be? Open
up. Take the masks off. Open up. Resume your life, quit living in fear. The fear is caused by the mainstream media and our government, and they're all connected. I don't know what the whole reason for it all is quite yet, but we're working on that. But take the mask off, start getting out and doing things, quit hiding in your house.
Now, I know AHS had put out a statement last week that there had been no recorded COVID cases that were a result of the No More Lockdowns rodeo. I know you have a story that you wanted to share about that.
I had a lady send me a message last week on Thursday that she'd went into a couple different medical facilities that were 3 to 4 hours away from Bowden, and with her going in there, they asked her if she had attended Banff, I think it was Peace River or Peace River area, and Bowden. So AHS is on a witch hunt right now trying to find somebody that got sick from coming to our rodeo and rodeo rally, and apparently they haven't found anybody. And I don't expect they will, because it's the end of flu season. We're done. It's gone.
Now you have, was it James Kitchen that represented you today in court, or was it Dan Harder?
Yeah, Dan Harder out of Olds represented us. He's working with James. They're good friends, and they decided to work on this together. And I'm grateful to both of them. And
so you're happy with the representation that you've received from the Justice Center? And
absolutely. If anybody is wanting to get involved with what's going on in our world right now here in Alberta, even across Canada, the Justice Center is, they're pushing the envelope everywhere they can and every issue they can. Donate. If it's $5, $10, $20, $100, whatever you can afford, donate. It just helps the fight in all this. It takes lawyers time, and it's going to take a lot of money to get through this, with this fight. So we need to contribute wherever we can. Some people don't want to be on the front line of the fight, and I'm okay with that. I'll go to the front line if I have to. But if you want to get involved, send some money to the JCCF. There's a couple other outfits out there fighting all of this. Fight the fines, and wherever you can get involved, just get involved.
And so, do you have any more rodeos planned?
Yeah, we get on the burner right now. We're cooking, so it's everything right at this point is short notice when we do it all. So, if people can follow my Facebook page or the Northcott Rodeo Inc. Facebook page, and we've got a couple other ones coming out here right away, follow the both of them as much as you can. I can't friend everybody, but I try to friend who I can when I can't keep up with social media these days. It's crazy. But follow us, what we're doing. We've got another event that's going to come out. It's very similar possibly to what the first one was. So we're just talking with our legal counsel, seeing where we can go with it.
And so I just want to end, Ty, with some people think that this is just purely in defiance of COVID restrictions, which it sounds like there is a little bit of that. But there's a real personal aspect to this as well. I mean, this is heritage. This is intergenerational, family, land, tradition. It's also personally how you put it's bread and butter, how you put food on the table. And I know at the No More Lockdowns Rodeo, you did give a rather heartfelt speech to the audience about that. And so today, when we're talking, what is the significance to you personally if all this goes away?
Well, this is our livelihood. It's been my livelihood since I grew up. For some people that are spectators and a few of the competitors, we're in the entertainment business, and for them, they're being entertained. And for us, it's our living. It's no different than the guy that, has a herd of 200-300 cows or more, or the guy that picks up a hammer and builds a house every day of the week. This is our livelihood, and we entertain people, and that's where people think that they miss the fact that people actually make a living putting rodeos on. It's a family thing that I've been involved with for well over 50 years. And I got lots of family still involved, and I just want people to know I'm not the only. My family isn't the only family suffering from this. There's hundreds of families across Canada that this is major, and I'm just talking stock contractors. When we get into people that are in our production teams, like announcers and judges and secretaries and bullfighters and picket men, and to put a rodeo on, it takes 50 to 100 people, and they're all losing their incomes out of this. And that's just one rodeo. I mean, we got hundreds of them across Canada, right from the west coast of BC all the way over into Quebec. This just isn't an Alberta thing, but we're fighting in Alberta right now, because if we can make a difference here, hopefully we can make a difference in some of the other provinces. Like last night, I got a message from a person in Ontario wanting to know how they can put some rodeos on and do what we're doing. I've had that same call out of BC, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. Like, we're not the only ones trying to fight this right now, but we're going to try and do our best and push this rodeo thing as far ahead as we can. And my hopes in the whole deal is it's not just for rodeo. It's for every sport out there, for the kids in school. It's for every business out there that's been shut down. We just want our province back to the government that we originally voted in 2 years ago. We went from being conservative to I have no idea what the hell you want to call it today, but it sure is not a conservative government. It's probably the farthest thing I've ever seen from a conservative government in North America right now.
So there seems to be a real divide, Ty, though, between what is happening in our cities and what people are demanding the governments do in response to COVID, vice what's happening in the rural communities. And do you feel like you've maybe gotten caught in the middle of some of that?
Well, I'm sure I've been caught in the middle of some of it, and I'm okay with that. I don't know this for sure, but what I feel is rural people tend to get out. They have the land, they have the area, they have the things where they can go do things and get out and talk to people. They know what's going on. The majority of them do. But when you get into the city and you're crammed and you got tattletales here, tattletales there, telling on you if you have a barbecue in your backyard, and like, people got to quit that crap. That's childish school bullying bullshit is all it is. You got to get back to being friends and neighbors. This is what the government wants. They want to divide us. They don't want us talking and telling the neighbor or anybody else what's really going on in the world. And you can call it whatever kind of a conspiracy or whatever you want, but there's a lot of crap going on that people don't understand and don't know. And they're creating that through the fear, like, shut your TV off and get away from the mainstream media, and it's amazing how much your life will change. Maybe you need to get out of the city or whatever if you're a city person. The country people seem to be not buying into the BS anymore like they were 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago kind of deal. The country's waking up, and Jason Kenney thinks he's still got a thumb on everybody, but they're not that stupid anymore. We maybe were all stupid in March last year, but we're not all stupid today.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. Any last final comments you'd like to share? Yeah,
if you see any kind of rodeo out there, go support it, and don't be a tattletale if there's something going on. If you see a soccer game, a ball game, or whatever, enjoy it. Go be involved, whether you're a spectator, competitor, or whatever. Get out and start doing things. Get back in touch with our society, because we've got a government and a health service outfit that definitely aren't in touch with it anymore.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today, and we'll follow you along here as you get closer, I guess, to the June 21st.
Excellent. Really appreciate coming on today. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, Ty.
Talk to you soon.